Okay, these first four we did on yesterday's Nearpod lesson, so you should have those. Number 1 is 376 and 8/10 centimeters squared. Number 2 is 533 and 8/10 centimeters squared. The lateral area for number 3, pictured above, is 251 and 2/10 feet squared. And the total surface area, our estimate that we did together on yesterday's lesson, was 351 and 68 hundredths feet squared. Now I'll give you the answers to the rest for grading purposes, but I'll remind you that the best way to use this video is to count how many you missed, report the grade to me. If you missed 2, report a -2 to me. If you got them all right, report a -0. But then any of the ones you missed, you should use the video to understand why you missed them all. I'll go over every single problem except for these first 4, because like I said, we did those together yesterday. Number 5 is 8,792 centimeters squared. 6 is 11,304 centimeters squared. 7 is 376 and 38 hundredths centimeters squared. 8 is 876 and 6 hundredths centimeters squared. 9 is 244 and 92 hundredths centimeters squared. 10 is 803 and 84 hundredths inches squared. 11 is 271 and 296 thousandths meters squared. 12 is 942 centimeters squared. And 13 is 904 and 32 hundredths feet squared. The answer to the riddle, why did Humpty Dumpty have a great fall? To make up for a bad summer. Now, as I said, I need this grade by the end of the day, so if you got them all right, report a -0 by email or discussion board. If you missed 1 or more, you should use the video to understand why you missed them. So here we go, number 5 through 8. The surface area formula is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. The first part of the formula is the lateral area, the area that you would get if you unwrapped the lateral face and you get this rectangle. It's the circumference of the circular base multiplied by the height of the cylinder. And so once I find this first term, I'll substitute into the lateral area. Surface area is approximately 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by, they gave us the radius, 20, multiplied by a height of 70, plus 2 times 3.14 multiplied by 20 squared. And you can use a calculator as long as you wrote the formula and substituted the values. 6.28 multiplied by 1400 is 8,792. That was the lateral area, so I'm going to fill that in here, 8,792 centimeters squared. To get the total surface area, or our estimate of the total surface area, I would multiply that by 6.28 multiplied by 400. I could just 628 times 4, since 100 hundredths is 1 whole. So plus 2,512. When you add that to the 8792, you get 11,304 centimeters squared. Number 7, I don't want to squeeze this in, so I'm going to write it down here. Surface area is exactly equal to 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So our approximation, when we substitute 3.14 for pi, will be 2 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by, again, they gave us the radius directly. They're not trying to make us find it from the diameter, but you always have to keep a lookout for that. The height of this cylinder is 6.5, perpendicular distance between the bases, plus 2 times 3.14 times 6.5 squared. This would be 6.28 times 9 times 6.5. That's 376. 0.38 That is my lateral area, 376 and 38/100 meters squared. It's this lateral area, the wraparound face, plus 6.28 times 42.25. 265.33. I'll add that to our lateral area, 376.38, to get a total surface area estimate of 641 and 71/100 meters squared, which is not what I have on my paper, so I obviously made a mistake. 42.25, that's right, times 6, that looks reasonable. Did I do this wrong? 60, no, that looks reasonable too. Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? I see what I did wrong. You probably saw what I did wrong too. I substituted incorrectly right there. I put the height where I should have put the radius. So 9 squared, so 81 times 6.28. That is 508.68. And when I add that to 376.38, I get the correct answer. No, I don't. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. This is mistakes allowed zone, but there's quite a few mistakes, Mr. Colby. Oh my gosh, no, that's right. Oh, what is my issue? Okay. Back to the drawing board. Slow down. I know the first one's right. All I need to do is figure out 2 pi r squared and get it right. 2 times 3.14 times 9 squared, which is 81. 2 times 3.14 times 81. .68. I feel like I've written that before. Maybe I just added it wrong. Plus, I wrote the number down wrong. 367, not 376. Had a little dyslexic moment there. 0.38. 876.06. I hope this is not going to be a trend because I've got a lot more videoing to do. I make a lot of videos these days. Okay. This is going to be easier. Total surface area. So I don't have to distinguish between lateral, and I still need the same 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Might as well write it for each one. By the way, I spotted right away that that's not a radius. So let's figure out the radius. Half of 10 is 5, half of 8/10 is 4/10. So r is 5.4. These other two have been given r. So I'm ready to start substituting. 2 times 3.14 times 3 times 10 plus 2 times 3.14 times 3 squared. Now, I had planned to just tell you when you crunch those numbers, you should get whatever it says on the solutions, but given my failure on the last slide, I think I'm just going to make sure I get the right thing. So I hope you double check your work. 188.4 is the first term. 6.28 times 9. 56.52 is the second term. And when I add that to 188.4, I get 244.92, which is what we were supposed to get. Centimeters squared. This one, 2 times 3.14 times 8 times 8. Oh, that's convenient. The radius and the height are the same thing. I can't make a mistake substituting that way. So I get, for the first term, 6.28 times 64, 401.92, plus, oh, same thing, 6.28 times 64, 401.92. Two 401s is 802, and 92 doubled is 184, so 803.84 inches squared. That's right. Finally, I really should have realized I wouldn't have enough room. I'll put it here, 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So approximately 2 times 3.14 times 5.4, they didn't give us the radius, they gave us the diameter, times height 2.6, plus 2 times 3.14 times 5.4 squared. Doing this first term first. 6.28 times 5.4 times 2.6 equals 88.1712 plus, do 5.4 squared first since exponents first by PEMDAS, times 6.28, and I get 183.1248, which when I add it to that lateral area, 88.1712, I get 271.296 meters squared, which is what we're supposed to get. I feel like I've recovered from my previous blunder. I think this one was done on the video, but just to be on the safe side. A can of tomato juice is a cylinder with a radius of 7.5. Oh, they didn't show you the cylinder. You should draw the cylinder. And a height of 20. What is the area of the, what is the area of the label around the can? See, they're talking about the lateral area. And so you can write the whole formula. It's probably better to write the whole formula and then to remind yourself that this term, this piece of the formula is for the circular bases. And we're talking about the label around the can. We just want the lateral area. So I just need to substitute into 2 times 3.14 multiplied by the radius 7.5 multiplied by 20. 7.5 times 20 is easy because 7.5 times 10 is 75. And double that, you get 150. So 150 times 6.28 is 942. The dimensions were given in centimeters, so that label of the can, that lateral area, would be centimeters squared, 942 centimeters squared. 13. A steel oil tank is a cylinder with diameter of 12 feet. Okay, if the diameter is 12, I know the radius is 6, and a height of 18. How many square feet of steel were needed to make the tank? Now this is interesting because, oh, yes, that's what I thought. All right, this is a good problem. Now I wouldn't expect many people to get this one right. You really need to understand this formula to solve this one. Surface area equals 2 pi RH. So that's the lateral area. I definitely need steel going around the tank to hold in the oil. But when I write the area of the bases, 2 pi r squared, if it's an oil tank that's holding oil, there's no top. There's certainly got to be a bottom, or otherwise the oil is just going to seep into the ground. But the top part is open, so we can pour the oil in. And so we don't have 2 pi r squareds, we have 1 pi r squared. So you have to modify that formula to get the correct answer here. So the surface area is approximately 2 times 3.14 times the radius of 6 times the height of 18 plus 1 pi r squared, so 3.14 times 6 squared. 6.28 times 108. Gives me a lateral surface area of 678.24, 678 and 24 hundredths, plus 36 times 3.14. 36 times 3.14 is 113.04. When I add that single circular base, the area of that single circular base, the bottom of the tank, to the lateral part of the tank, I get a total of 791.28. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. All right, I'm sitting here considering whether I want to edit out my error, and I'm choosing not to, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes word problems are open to interpretation. Like, at first glance, I thought, is this tank supposed to have a top or not? And in my mind, it didn't make sense for it to have a top. But because I know the answer is supposed to be 904.32, and because I don't see a 791.28 on my as an answer choice, that leads me to logically conclude that this does in fact have a top. And so there should be a 2 here. So 2 of these will be 678.24 was still the lateral area. 226.08. When I add those, slow down. When I add those 678 and 24 hundredths plus 226 and 8 hundredths, I get 904 and 32 hundredths feet squared. So it would include like a top to maybe keep rain from falling into the oil tank, something like that. Okay, although you see how this could have been a good problem if I said there was no top, to have you understand to take out the 2 and just make it 1. That might give you, for those of you that are watching this, that might give you a little advantage on the next test. All right, thanks for watching. Have a nice weekend.